What's up, everybody? Funnel Doc here. And if you'd like to know how to get real estate leads, especially sellers, this is a video you can't miss out on. And we are live. What's up, everybody? Funnel Doc here with Danny Fee, and we are going to be talking about getting leads for real estate agents. Let me get this video up so I can see the chat real quick. See everything set. Looks good. Boom. And we are going. All right, Danny. So first of all, let's talk a bit about who is your number one potential client? Like, who are you trying to target? Who's your perfect customer?
Okay, so as a realtor, I have two objectives. Okay, and so it's probably two different funnels, but the main thing as a real estate agent, real estate professional, is targeting sellers for me. It's the one thing that I've been trying to crack. When I first got in the business, it was buyers, but I realized quickly after reading the Red Book written by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan that listings ultimately attract buyers and they provide more leverage. So sellers are definitely the thing that all real estate agents and realtors should be focused on when it comes to growing and scaling their business.
Right. And just so everybody's clear, as a seller is someone selling a house, and a buyer is someone buying a house. I know this sounds obvious, but I want everybody to know. And the reason why we want sellers is because if I'm selling a property, there's only me. Like, it's me, and that's all that matters. There can be 30 buyers trying to buy my seller property. So that's why the sellers are so more fruitful and more, because they're selling a house. You could be, as a buyer, competing against 100 other buyers for one property. So that's one of the things why they're so beneficial. Wouldn't you agree, Danny?
Absolutely. And there's so much leverage built into it. And it provides you a way to generate even more business while allowing you to save some of your time to focus on basically getting more listings as a real estate professional.
Right. And you make a good point, too. Like, buyers can be a little flaky sometimes. You have to worry about them getting approved for the loans, all that type of stuff. Where sellers, it's like they got the property. Unless it goes there's a bad inspection or something, you're pretty much going to get your percentage. So it really helps to leverage that way. And what's up, Jake, Raymond, Sharon, Ivor? What's up, everybody? Thanks, everyone, for showing up. So with that being said, we're going to focus. We won't even put buyers on here because they're really not even anybody we want to look at. So right now, for a seller, is there an average age that you find for a seller? I would imagine it's probably over 35 or even 45, wouldn't it be?
You know, I would love to say that there is a magic number. It's definitely not under 18, right?
Right.
I bought my first home when I was 23, but I was probably a little bit early to the game. When you say the word average, I'd probably have to place it somewhere around 30. And with the millennial movement, where a lot of them are starting to opt for renting, believe it or not, right. I think that it might be increasing a little bit. I don't have a specific number, but if I had to guess, I would definitely say around 30 years old and up is where you would probably want to target.
So we're going for 30 plus. Now, do you, again, I don't want to be sexist or anything, but do you find more males or females? Is there a heavier percentage one way or another? Would you say it's about 50-50, or what would you say?
You know what? I have some analytics actually here on my app as far as when it comes to lead generation, what I'm seeing as far as gender, because they give you these numbers. Obviously, as a real estate professional, gender is a protected class, so it's not like we can say I only want to serve my ads up to males or females and not one or the other. But on Facebook, they do give us the analytics. So when I look at the people who are interacting on one of the lead generation funnels I have, for the lifetime of this funnel, I have 388 women who have opted in to this funnel, as opposed to, and you probably can't see that.
Look, and 287, so about 100 more women. So we're probably going to say 60-40, I would roughly say.
As far as interactions with this particular ad, and this particular ad is, I have a quick 12-second video saying, pull homes in Las Vegas for under 400,000. If you want the list, click here. And then a Facebook lead form pops up that autofills their email and phone number. And then we use Zapier to pump them into our CRM and also provide them what they opted in for on our IDX feed, which is a realtor site that populates with real estate listing data. And we're able to sort that data. So I created, a sorted list of pool homes under $400,000 in Las Vegas. And then they get to look at those and not have to worry about the other 9,000 listings that are available right now.
Okay, so as a seller, your thing is you're having trouble is getting these people to come to you to list your property, correct?
Right. And that campaign is actually buyer focused, right? So we're switching gears right now as far as what the messaging is going to be for sellers. And it's really important to know what's happening at this particular time in the real estate industry. I'm sure that you've seen it on TV. I'm sure you've heard it on radio. I can guarantee you've received stuff in the mail that says receive an instant offer today on your home from either an iBuyer or an institutional buyer, like Open Door, OfferPad, Zillow Instant Offers. I'm pretty sure that you, being part of the general public, just like the rest of us, have been bombarded with this new form of marketing.
Right.
And there's a lot of home sellers and homeowners out there that are starting to get curious, like, what is this thing all about? Is it a fair market offer value? Like, let's find out. And believe it or not, when I'm going on listing appointments, which are appointments with people who are considering selling their home, and it's an initial consultation where they want to figure out, what they have to do to sell their home, how much they might be able to get. A lot of them I'm finding now are pulling out these instant offers. Hey, I ran this thing on Open Door. I ran this thing on OfferPad.
Sure.
In the beginning, I was shocked because this didn't exist 2 years ago in Las Vegas.
Right.
We're one of 10 major cities in the United States where this type of technology is being tested, and market share is being grabbed up by these companies at a pretty rapid rate relative to other brokerages who are traditionally listing homes for sale. So it's a brand new conversation where there's a lot of realtors and real estate agents who are mad about that and they're talking bad about them. But I'm starting to see this is the consumer who's demanding. There was a void of some sort in the market, and that's being filled by this new community. So instead of bad mouthing it, which is only going to cause more curiosity, by the way.
Sure.
Let's get on board and figure out how we can advise these consumers and how we can actually be somebody to help them interpret that offer and what the net amount is. And so that's where I'm going with this new funnel that I want to get created.
Okay, so for it came to me just that maybe our lead magnet is how to interpret the numbers and use that to be able to get the best offer or something. You know what I mean? Maybe that's it, because if they're going out and getting different quotes from different things, I would imagine I could be totally off, but if they go to 3 different sites, they're probably going to get 3 different numbers to some degree.
And they're all going to have different closing costs. They're going to have different fees, and the net amount is going to be different. So it's very confusing, especially for someone who only buys and sells a home on average every 5 to 7 years. We as real estate professionals do it every day, but I believe the real estate professionals who basically don't run and hide from this or badmouth it, but they embrace it and they adapt, are the ones who are going to be able to thrive in the future. It's a new opportunity. There's a little bit of chaos in the market. And chaos creates the opportunity. So what I'm saying is exactly what you said. You're onto the right thing. Let's collect and aggregate all of these offers for each individual seller and kind of become the Trivago of offers. And let's compare and contrast all of the different platforms out there and see what's going to be best. Should you in fact go with one of these iBuyer or institutional buyers to sell your home? Will it help you accomplish your goal and net the most money? Or is netting the most money even the most important thing to you? Some people, they need to move quickly. Let's say they got stationed at a different Air Force base, or some life event took place, and maybe netting the most amount of money isn't as important as convenience, control, or certainty.
So I agree with you on that, but I think that's a limited case, and I don't want to focus on that because that's not low-hanging fruit. You know what I mean? Like, I agree with you that that's 100% something that happened, but I would think let's right now shy away from that and only go for the bigger numbers overall.
Okay.
So we have someone that's interpreted. Now you said also how to get the best value between, I'm sorry, what was the two different people or two different things you compared? You said.
So traditionally, 5 years ago, you wanted to sell your home.
Right.
Most people are either going to, try to sell their home themselves, which most of the time they end up losing money, leaving money on the table, leave themselves open for liability and risk. Of course, I'm a realtor, I'm going to say that, but that's just the facts. 80% of the people who try to sell their home by themselves, they end up hiring a realtor or real estate professional.
Okay, one sec. So to go after that, so there's one category right there. We know this.
That's traditional.
Okay, are people still doing a bunch of traditional, or is that like a small fading away, or what would you say the percentage of the market is trying for traditionals at 50%?
A large majority, they still will use realtors because it truly is the best way to make the most amount of money. There's just obviously a little bit of inconvenience with staging your home, allowing people to come in and preview the property, and basically it can take a little bit more time depending on the condition of your home and the current market. So the traditional route has always been the route that's going to help somebody net the most amount of money. Right. It's just when that happens and how much is the question mark. And with that was born this new, more certain iBuyer or internet buyer market, where they're using automated values and they are basically sending instant offers to homeowners without using a real estate professional in a lot of cases, because they're marketing directly to the consumer. And when you look at the net sheet from these instant offers that are coming in, most of the time these people are leaving a substantial amount of money on the table. But they don't have a fiduciary, a realtor or a real estate professional helping them interpret that data. So they really might not even know how much they're leaving on the table if they decide to go with one of these without consulting a real estate professional. And that's kind of what's happening right now. It's actually like the wild, wild west when it comes to home sellers trying to figure out what's going on with all of these new forms of marketing and advertising coming their way.
Right.
Get an instant offer on your home right now. Oh, great. This looks good. Actually, it looks like what the Zestimate is for the offer, but what are these fees? What is it, 9%? What are these closing costs? What is this additional amount of money? What is this convenience fee, even that they have? And then really, what's the net amount that you're going to make when you sell your home if you choose to go with one of these new iBuyers as opposed to the traditional route of listing and selling your home with a real estate professional?
Okay, well, let's try and not get into the nuances of everything now. Let's try and figure out how we're going to target, because the main thing we're trying to do is figure out how we're going to get these leads in, and we could spend like hours, I'm sure, just breaking down the different intricacies of everything. So let's do this. So right now we want to identify our people. We're getting way off task talking about all this stuff about real estate. We need to stay focused on what we're trying to accomplish here is getting these people, these leads in the door.
That's why I'm here, man. All right, so I'm going to let you take the lead on that, and I'll answer your questions.
Perfect. Yeah.
And go with that.
So let's go back to this. So right now, when we have somebody coming in to the system, the number one thing that these people are going out and they're getting these sheets and they're getting all these numbers and they're not sure how to interpret it, right?
Right.
Let's even go back a step, because we're just getting too much into real estate 101 here and not how to get leads at all. Like all the 10 minutes we just. So how to interpret the numbers. So what are the main numbers that we're going to look at for them to want to interpret? Because we're going to agree that right now, if I put out a general lead going out to these people that are interested in sellers, there's probably a good chance that we could figure out some type of catchy headline that's going to grab them because they don't know how to interpret these numbers, right?
Right. Right. All right. So the main thing is, are you confused about selling your home is one of the things that I've come up with.
No. Numbers only. Don't go. No, we're here. We're on the numbers. We have a lead magnet.
Okay.
How to interpret the numbers. Like this right here is super sexy. Realize you just told me like 99% of everybody's going and getting estimates, right?
Yeah.
They don't know how to interpret the numbers. They get them. They're like, why are they different? That's our lead magnet right there. We have a super powerful lead magnet. If I was looking at this, I'd be like, excuse me, why is closing cost on X different than boom? Why is explain the numbers? So if we had like, what are the four or the three top numbers that people are on these sheets that people don't know about? So there's maybe the price of the house. Is that one of them?
The price of the home is the first number that people are going to really look at. It's the amount of money they're offering to purchase your home for.
Gotcha. So price of the home. Closing costs is probably pretty big because that's another one that they lose or gain money on, right?
Yep.
What would be another number that's usually on these sheets that they might not? Why are they so different from sheet to sheet? You know what I mean?
Well, the closing costs are kind of encompassing all of the differences. So there's really subcategories in the closing costs that change.
Okay, so are these the only real numbers that they get on those sheets per se, is the price and the closing cost, or is there something else on there?
Yeah, it's like, because it's like the price of the home minus the closing cost equals your net amount, which is actually the most important thing. So if you wanted to make it as simple as possible, that's kind of how you would do it. But within those closing costs, there's about 10 different things that can vary, like taxes, like insurance, like escrow fees. There's a lot of minutia in real estate terminology, but really the formula is price of home minus the closing costs equals your net dollar amount that you're actually going to put in your pocket.
Okay, so what if we instead said something like the lead magnet is, why is your net, was it like net price of your house, or how did you say it again? Was the net
Proceeds.
proceeds? Okay, so why is your net proceeds for your house vary? Now that's not very sexy. We need to make it a little bit, but that's something like that. If we were seeing like, you could do something like an ad for to be like, have you gone to Zillow? What is it? What's the red one? What's red?
There's Redfin, there's Zillow, there's Open Door, and Offer.
Right. So like, say those three, it's like, hey, did you go to Zillow, Redfin, and Open Door, and you can't figure out why your net proceeds for your house sale are always different? Let me show you.
Oh.
You know, like something like that would be a great little ad to have, or even copy wise. You know, if you come up with something like that, where they're like, where they're working for the number, because that's the thing. You want to grab their attention. You know what they're doing. You know why they're doing it, but also in their mindset, if I saw these numbers are different, why are they different? And if that's the main number, like, how am I getting the difference? Something like that that's going to grab, because you know they've gone to these three places, most likely. That's like 90% of people will go to those to get the numbers.
Hey, I lost your screen there for a second.
You back again? Hello?
Well, I can't see you for some reason.
That's what I can see you. Huh. Interesting.
Okay. So yeah, that is actually a great thing. Like, that's what happens, and that's what's causing the confusion. So why is the net proceeds different when you go to all of these different sites?
Right. So then they come into you, and then at that point you're giving them, we'd say that's the hook. And then, like, is there some type of a checklist that they could be like, hey, the 5 things you need to make sure you're checking to see why your numbers are different or something? There's 5 main, like in the closing costs or something. I'm just looking for something like even beyond this. So this is going to grab people, but then the lead magnet has to have some, like, what are we going to show them the difference? You know what I mean? Like, to think of an actual lead magnet here.
Yeah. So they're going to want to look at the convenience fee that instant offer company, whoever it is, because there's a bunch of them and more of them are coming every day. What's the convenience fee they're charging, or what's that percentage of closing fees that they're charging for you to use their platform, use their service, and take advantage of their offer? You know, like 6% would be something that you would traditionally look at, but a lot of times you're running into anywhere from 7 to 12% when you're using one of these different companies, and they've been shrinking that down. But how much are you being charged in your closing cost is what you want to figure out, and that's one of the things that I can help them do.
Gotcha.
by breaking those down. You
Now,
know,
would that need to be a one-on-one thing? Okay.
yeah. So we're leading to a phone call where I'm in fact leading to their property because I need to take pictures of their home to find the condition, and I would need to submit this to, the 10 different platforms, come back to them on a second appointment and go through it. After we first, of course, discover motivation and if they really truly need or want to sell their home in the near future. But it would be a phone call, something on Calendly or Book Like a Boss, something where it goes in the calendar. They know I'm calling them or they're calling me, but we're getting on the phone and we're talking.
So we're going to go, so this, and then what if this was book a free 15-minute call with me so I can go you the numbers or something like that? Would that be the flow to it? Is that what we're thinking? Instead of an actual lead magnet, which I like because once you get them on the phone, you can move it into a different situation and potentially close them.
Yeah.
So, mind you, for everyone watching, I appreciate. What's up, Chris? What's up, Jake? Amesh, Sharon, everyone. Matt, what's up, Matt? How you doing, brother? Everyone watching right now, this is the way that Danny's designing it. You can do a PDF or some type of traditional lead magnet, but we're doing the little rope-to-dope here. We're going to bring them in, and instead of just showing them a page or a lead magnet and showing them like, hey, look at this, this, and this, I like what Danny's saying is we're going to have them book a call, which normally we're going to say it'd be like, oh, normally this is like a $99 service, but right now, because especially if you're a new buyer to the area, I'm going to do it for free and let you see where the numbers are so I can make sure you're not losing money. Something like that is, we always want to attach a value to it. Even if it's a free, you want to be like, oh, normally it's $99. Because if I'm just like, oh, it's free, people are like, oh, free. They don't put value to it. So you need to at least attach some type of monetary value to it, because then people are going to be more likely to show up for the appointment. If you can chat, depending on how you're engaging with them, most likely this would go to, like you said, we'd go to and we can sort of design it out. Well, I don't know how we can share with this in here, but if you're thinking on here in ClickFunnels, we're going to go into an opt-in.
Yep.
So here's your opt-in page. And on this, I would have something like this, why is your net proceeds, maybe even I wouldn't put a video on here. First, I'm thinking video, but usually for opt-ins, you want to keep it real curiosity-based because we're really only trying to get them to give us our name and email here, maybe even a phone number. So we'll go name, probably a phone number too, because here we're going to want to call people and follow up a lot.
Yeah, we definitely need a phone number.
So we want name, email, phone number on the opt-in. And this can be very simple. I'd have some I'd get houses of Vegas, the typical style, put them in the backdrop, make a black border so it fades it out and the lettering pop. And then I'd put something in, you'd put this and then it'd be like, enter your information below to get your complimentary, what can we call it? Sexy. We want to make it sexy, like not like price, home price evaluation. We want something like we're doing something cool for you, not just looking at some numbers. You know what I mean? Like, let's think of something.
Or the value of your home we're looking at multiple offers to get multiple offers on your home. I don't know if that's sexy enough, but for somebody who's thinking about selling their home, they definitely want offers. That's their true motivation. They want someone who's interested in buying their home. If they can look at multiple offers, I don't know if that's it, but.
Well, it's getting a little ahead of where we're at. We're not there yet. We haven't got them to where they want us as a seller. We're just getting them in the door yet.
Okay.
So, right. So on the next page, we're going to work on selling them on the appointment. Right now, we're just like trying to get them in for this. This is our $99 offer. So when I'm looking at, if I was you and I was looking at this person and they came in and we're going to figure out how they're going to, maybe we call it like our home optimization system or pricing optimization system. You know what I mean? Like if you add name or like a system or something like that, people always love it when something's a system or blueprint or things like that. So maybe it's like, what are we trying to do here? We're actually trying to find out what their net is for their home. So, or home maximum. Someone else, let's see what else we got here in the chat. Let us know what else you guys think. What is your home optimization? We're trying to think, because like you want to give something a name. You just don't want to say, hey, I'm looking at your variables and numbers. You want to give it a sexy name. So what if we were like, how to optimize our blueprint to maximizing your home value or something like that.
Some of the notes I have is like, what if I had a solution and could get you a competitive offer on your home in the next 24 to 48 hours with no showings?
Right, but that has nothing to do with this. This is our offers here. We're making a lead magnet, so it has to go with this about us getting their value, because that was the whole thing. Is we had an ad where we're like, hey, you've been to Zillow, blah blah blah. Let me show you how you can get the maximum value out of the house. So maybe house, we could saw home value maximizer. System, something like that. We can come up, but you always want to have a sexy name for whatever you're selling, because if not, people can't grasp it as much as like it's not a tangible thing, even though there's nothing there. Hey, guess what? I'm going to show you my home value maximizer system. It's normally $99, but if you put your information in here, I'm going to give it to you for free right now. Then they go to the next page. Okay, hey, here's where you're going to have a video talking about just briefly what you're going to do and why they need to book this 15-minute appointment with your Calendly link down below.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So from here, we're going to go to a calendar page or Calendly page or Acuity or whatever. So on the first page, so here's our flow. We're going to come in, we're going to have an ad or something, or some type of opt-in where we're going to be like, hey, have you been to Redfin, Zillow, whatever the other ones are? You always wonder why your numbers are not the same. Let me show you our home value maximizer system, where I'm going to be able to show you or diagnose what each of those numbers mean and show you the optimum way to get the most out of your house. Normally we charge $99, but right now for people that are new in the area or people that are new, because like most of these people are new, right? Like as a whole, like so.
Vegas, yeah.
Yeah, especially. So that's why I'm saying new, because it's going to target them even more. For people that are new right now, we're doing this for free, but it's only 15 minutes and you have to be serious. If you're not serious about doing this and don't want to make the most for your home, don't bother signing up or something like that, because then again, yeah, you like that, because if you say something like people, dude, I want to get the most out of my home. You know what I mean? It's a takeaway close from them almost. Like, hey, if you're not serious about it, if you don't want to make a lot of money, that's cool. We got plenty of people that are. Don't waste our time, because I only have so many slots. You know, you want to have not so much an arrogance type of it, but you want to have definitely that, like, hey, we don't need you. You need us.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. Like that, Eric said, our custom blueprint to find the best value for our home. That's another good one. Something like that, where it's got a name where people are like, oh, it's X versus this system where you're trying to explain stuff that's confusing. But if I get even for this, our custom blueprint to find the best value for your home, okay, show me your blueprint. Yep. Normally I charge $99 for this blueprint because you're new into the system in the Vegas area. Only because of that, we're going to give this to you for free right now. You know, so now we've got our whole lead magnet built out, how we're going to get them in, the ad we're getting them into. Here we're going to ask for their name, email, and phone number. That's going to get you the ability to get involved with the maximizer and to reserve your spot. Then we're going to go to a Calendly page. On the Calendly page, or the embed, the opt-in, the actual schedule page, we'll have like a 5 to 10 minute video going over just briefly what's going to be involved in the 15-minute, why it's so important, what type of value they're going to get from just really pumping it up. Like this 15 minutes can literally save you tens of thousands of dollars on your next vote. You know, I mean, just, and if you miss this,
it really can't.
Because here's the deal. Like Gary Vee says, one of the most important things or most valuable things now is attention and time. So you got to think you're asking for their attention. You're asking for 15 minutes of their time. And that's why we keep it at 15 minutes. It's small. But that 15 minutes, you need to get them to show up. You want like well over 50, 75% show rate. If you're below 50% show rate, you're not instilling enough value in them and they don't feel it's that important. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So doing it this way, and then I love it because once we get them on the phone, we go over all the stuff that you know about, and then you're using that to help instill why they need to work with you. It's way easier to close someone when you already have them on the phone. Hey, let's go look at your house or whatever you need to do to help make them shift towards you than to try and like, hey, I'm cool, I'm Danny, work with me, which is way up here. See, we've skipped that whole part now. We've also built and established know, like, and trust because now you're showing them all these numbers like, oh, Danny, I would never thought of that if you hadn't shown me. That's brilliant, dude. Epiphanies are left and right. Thanks, Danny. You're the greatest. Take my cell, you know? And that's what the purpose of this type of flow. So let me know, anyone in the chat, if anyone's watching this, they have any questions, because I think this is a good way that we can start in that's going to be generalized, but yet is going to hit a pain point, because that's what you want to think of. As a seller, what are their pain points? And this is the number. How much they're going to get is a big one. You know, and how much can they lose is a big one.
It's really where it is. And, you know, I've heard it over and over, lead with the problem. And that's what you've kind of got set up here, which was great. It's helping me get a lot of clarity on where to even start the ad. I mean, I know where I'll place it because anyone who's interacting with those brands online, there's a way to follow them and get in front of them, right?
Right. No, yeah. If anyone's liking or going to the Zillow page or any of that type of stuff, definitely that's who you'd want to target with this type of stuff. People that are new to the area potentially be another one. You know, they're just moving here. They're either going to get an apartment or a house, so they might be, you know, that might be another option too.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to ask you about is I'm able to gather data, and I have access to a membership where I'm able to gather data, phone numbers and emails for people who have had certain life events, which typically leads to them needing to sell their home. Like, for instance, if they've filed for divorce, within a day, I can find out who it is and actually have their information with if there was a death in the family, if there was a new birth, if there was empty nesters because someone went away to college. Like, literally creating custom audiences and putting that in this type of messaging in front of them. Is that something that you found to be effective as well, or?
It's tough, especially with anyone that's had a major life event that they're moving. Like, it's one thing to get a job, but if somebody died or something like that, it's sensitive that you don't come off as like a money. You know what I mean?
No, the ad would never ever be around that life event. It would actually be this, because most of the time they're starting to look for things that are going to help them sell their home, and these things. These ads that I'm talking about from these Zillows, and they're hitting the market massively. Have you not seen one in the market at all, ever?
I mean, I think I've seen some.
So people are seeing it. So now I would want to put something just like this in front of them, because I know that there's a higher likelihood that they might be thinking about selling their home sometime in the near future. In addition to everyone else who just owns a home here in Las Vegas and might be curious about it. But, you know, getting them curious. You mentioned something about curiosity there. You think leading with that one problem, hey, why is your net amount seem to be different on all of these different sites, and kind of going from there?
Yeah, I would even, you could even make like a little on the opt-in page, like, or whatever, Zillow, whatever the 3 different ones, and have this like, look, here's Tommy, he got 3 different quotes. Here's Susie, she got 3 different quotes. Wouldn't you want to know why they're different? You know, so that way you don't, because videos for some reason don't convert as well as text do on opt-in pages. I'm not exactly sure why, if it's watching it or people think they know what you're talking about, so the curiosity goes away so they don't opt in. But that's the thing. So if you show, oh, here's these 3 different results, now it's almost like social proof that it's there, you know what I mean? Would you like to know why your numbers are different just like this? Opt in, and I'm going to show you my home value maximizer system, or like Eric said, our custom blueprint to find the best value for our house. We'll use that and schedule an appointment. We'll be able to show you no problem how you too can figure out your numbers and know why Tommy's numbers and Susie's numbers are different or something like that. You know what I mean? There's all different types of things you do with stuff like that.
And on that opt-in page, when we're getting the name, email, and phone number, is minimizing the inputs important? Because obviously the address would be important too, but it could be something that I could extract on that phone call probably as well.
Right. For right now, you want as few opt-ins as possible. Now on the next page, once you're trying to book them, you can ask their zip codes. You can ask all, I mean, like in your Calendly or your, like I use Acuity. I'm sure Calendly has the same where you can ask like questions before they can schedule it.
Well, I'll check out Acuity too.
Yeah, so what I would do for, like, if you have a series of maybe like 5 questions, like what zip codes are you looking at? Like what's your price range? Like whatever they are that you want to, like you'll always ask no matter what. It also helps you to qualify the person. I put it as part of that thing. Hey, answer these 5 questions so I can make sure I can get you the best value for your house or something like that. Oh, okay, I'll answer them. Now you already have some info on them, who they are, what they're about, what their ranges are, stuff like that before you ever sit down in front of them.
Absolutely. All right, and then as far as
one second. One more question you always want to ask.
Okay.
When you're thinking about buying, because like, dude, some people could be like, oh, I'm not thinking about that shit for 6 months, 7 months, a year from now, you know, like they could be just looking around. So I would ask them or selling, saying, hey, how soon are you looking to sell your house? Just to get an idea, because if it's even 3 months from now, sure, that's someone you're going to want to cultivate and work with. But really, you're looking at 30, 60 days out max, right? Like,
yeah, pretty much. And then, you know, another question we're always going to want to ask is, like I said, when you focus on sellers, it leads to like 2 or 3 more buyers all the time. That's why it's so important. But we always want to ask, you know, why are you selling a home? Where do you plan on moving next if you were to sell your house? And if it's in Vegas, that's another conversion that you can possibly take advantage of. And if it's outside of the city or state, if they plan on buying, we can connect them with an agent in a different area and still receive a referral fee as well. So there's more money to be made by asking that one extra additional question, I think. And that could be in the second opt-in page on Acuity, but not the first one where you're only asking those 3 things: name, email, and phone number.
Right, because once we get that, even if they don't opt in, we have both their email and their phone numbers, ways to try and get back a hold of them. Oh, hey, Bob, I saw you went. You had like some interest, but you didn't actually. Where the time's not good for you, is there something we can do? You know, hey, I'm on the phone with you right now. Do you got like quick 15 minutes? We could discuss it right now, you know, or something like that, you know, because if you don't get that info, you never get that second swing at them. At least if you have this info, we got a second at bat if they don't opt in. And that's what you want to sort of do, is create 2 different lists of people that opt in and people that don't opt in for emails. So that way in general for their phone numbers. So if they don't set up a calendar, Acuity or whatever it is, Calendly or whatever, and if they do, because if they do, great, those are potential leads, but let's be realistic, it's only going to probably be 10 to 20% that actually schedule appointment, maybe higher, but let's say it's even 30%. That's still 70 people that did not schedule appointment that had interest. Why were they interested enough to give you, you know what I mean? Something lost them after they opted in. Maybe the times weren't right. Maybe they just, whatever it is.
Right.
We need to follow up with those people, follow up email sequences, follow up. Maybe even you could integrate some messenger bot in here, maybe do a quiz. You could do like, hey, click here in one of your emails, or maybe even on the thank you page underneath the schedule. Hey, click here to take this 6-question survey to see how soon you're ready to sell your house, or whatever. It could be anything. You know,
that'd be a reference link for ManyChat.
Yeah, so you do like a ref URL, and then you put it in there, and then it shoot them over. And then while in ManyChat, you could get info from them, and you could do like a little survey that would ask them other questions, maybe, or maybe it's a calculator of some type that they could use to in your company's estimate how much you would say they would get. So you could compare it. Now you have 4 numbers. You have the other guys and you, and if you come out better, you're like, hey, look, here's the other guy. You know what I mean? So it's another way.
That's a great idea too, because there have been times when I've done this where they didn't necessarily want me to come over to their house, but I told them I still need the pictures, and they're like, well, tell me what pictures you need, and I'll just take them on my phone and send them to you. And maybe I can have them, they can message me back through Messenger and send those pictures, and I'll say, all right, take a picture of your living room, send it here. Take a picture
You can even do this, check it out. You can send them to a Messenger. You can have Messenger pop up, and it'd be like, send your living room here, and you can have them so they can upload the pictures in Messenger for you.
That's what I was just thinking.
Yeah. So you use it's a user input feature, and you set it for uploading a file. And and then you like just put whatever pictures you need, and then it's like cool because then they take the picture, upload it, makes it. Now you're actually adding. Just what we just put together right here is adding a whole nother level of customer service. You know what I mean? It's
convenience. And convenience too, because maybe they just want to get those instant offers. And honestly, it would save me time if I had that information from my desk and I can just have our people just put it into all of the different portals, the institutional buyers. All we really need are those pictures and a few extra questions. But of course, I like to meet people and get face to face with them as well. But this could streamline the process and, like you said, provide more value in customer service. So.
And as much as we like to engage with people and before this sale, before they're like working with us, is fine. When once they're working with us, if you like, oh, here's my bot link, click on this. I have a bot that's going to walk you through everything you do. I'd be pretty freaking impressed if you know, as a seller, if they're like, oh, and just, you know, I mean, like, I would be, you know, that's cool, dude.
Okay.
You know, so that could be another thing, you know.
Awesome, man. I truly appreciate you taking the time. This has actually given me an extreme amount of insight and clarity on that first initial message.
Right.
And just like, where do you start with it? I was going to go into the minutia. I probably would have lost a whole bunch of people, but to just focus on that one problem of why are all these net amounts different? Why does every single price come out different? Right. And then I like what Eric said here, you know, get our custom blueprint to find the best value for your home, or the home value maximizer system.
Yeah.
Normally a $99 value. I'm going to go back to this video because you scripted it out really good.
Yeah, man. No, it's in the group, so feel free to watch as much. But yeah, dude, I think from talking to you, especially because that's a thing when you're thinking of, you have to think about in your potential customer's shoes. What are they doing? Well, now the cool thing is to find all these prices. I know if I was going to sell my house, I would go do it. I'd go find it. But yet, if I'm getting all these different numbers, why? Everybody's got to be asking themselves. So this is like almost like the perfect thing that everybody's going to be like, yeah, I was wondering why are they different. Oh, wow, It's normally $100 and he's going to give it to me for free because I'm new. Okay, let me check it out. You know? I think this is it, dude. I think this is the new. I hope to see some Vegas ads about the profit value maximizer or the blueprint system come here soon, my friend. This would be great.
You definitely will. I'm going to get to work on this. I'm excited about it. More importantly, getting it tested and working is going to help me help other agents, because that's what the next step is. And I know there's a lot of people that come and follow you who are also in the same space. There's a bunch of agents out there that are confused about this as well, not just the consumer. So I think solving a huge issue on this topic, and thanks for your help with the clarity.
Yeah, man. Awesome, Eric. Love the chatbot integration. Yeah, I think that's it too, guys. When we're doing this stuff, you want to not always think of linear, just email, phone call, chatbots. Maybe even doing something where you're doing a group training. If you had enough people, maybe you're getting inundated. Maybe it's almost like a live webinar style where you're closing people on this. I mean, that could be another thing too, that people are, hey, join in at home. I'm doing a 30-minute group training on how to get the most value using our value maximizer system. And then because, like, dude, if people get on that call with you and they're doing like a 30-person Zoom, the social proof is ridiculous, because once someone's like, I'm going to do this with you now, Danny, I'm going to do it like the next person, and it becomes like a table, like a table rush for a Funnel Hacking Live or something, you know, where everybody's like rushing the table. So other options, you know, changing the environment stuff. But as a beginning, as starting out, go with this, and then, you know, figure out different areas. But that's the key, is always putting yourself in your potential client's shoe. What is the number one problem they're having right now? Why am I not going to get the most value? How am I going to get the most value for my house? I mean, that's that. And then I would think the next one we want to tackle, same idea, but it'd be something about, like, and I'm not sure, you're the expert, but something about getting like the quotes from people, like they have to get estimates or something, like they have inspectors come, and from what I hear, that varies a lot, and people get like weird quotes from inspectors. So
Yeah.
I think the next pain point would be something like that.
Well, that goes into more detail because there's a lot that goes into the whole process. The selling cycle of real estate is really like when you get from lead to actual closing, on average is anywhere from 6 to 18 months. So it's more of a relationship funnel. Right. It's not like e-commerce where you can, just get that direct response sale right there. Your direct response is the appointment. That's what we're looking for. And then we provide our consultation to provide value and fulfill on that end. But yeah, a lot of times people might say, well, my home isn't in the best condition. I want a contractor to come in and upgrade it and make it look like an HGTV home. But I keep getting all these different quotes at different amounts. Is one less quality? Is one high quality? How do I figure this out? So that's another, point of consultation that we provide to our clients where there's a lot of confusion around that as well. You mentioned something, and I know that when we were at OfferMind, the presentation funnel, which was called the webinar funnel.
Right.
We're bringing them on this opt-in straight into book this call, and you said maybe video doesn't convert as much, but text seems to be doing really well.
Right.
And then it's just going straight to the call. But would a webinar maybe increase the conversion of actually getting people on the call with me, do you think?
I would, and maybe, remember I said like a video above it, maybe instead of just doing a video, or maybe doing, it needs to be some type of video, VSL, webinar stuff. I don't know about full webinar because like an hour, it might be too long. I don't know the audience. Who knows? Sellers, we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars and more. So maybe they would. I just don't know.
Yeah.
That would be something to test for sure. But at least a 10 to 15 minute video walking them through the process, and overcoming objections. Like that would be something like, why would they not want to work with you? I'd make sure that get those limiting beliefs, whatever, like you're out for this person, whatever I don't know enough about it, but
Yeah, but that's right. I mean, there's plenty of reasons people have limiting beliefs in this aspect. I could name a bunch of them right now, but I know exactly what you're talking about, and I think I know what points to overcome on that 5 to 10 minute video, which would pump up the value of giving me their attention for that 15 minutes on that phone call.
And if you can have any spots where you're like, yeah, we had this guy Bob at one point, and he was worried about X, Y, and Z, just like you probably are. But the good thing is when Bob started working with us, we were able to show him how this worked out. So X, Y, and Z didn't really matter anymore. You do that a couple times and people are like, F, dude, I don't have any objections now. I guess I'll buy from you or sell. You know what I mean? Like, if you can give people real life situations and how you and your company help overcome those situations, it just knocks them down right away. It's like you just showed me it's possible and this dude did it. So, okay, I guess I can do it too. You know what I mean? You want to overcome those objections like that. So awesome, man. Awesome. Any other questions about anything else for right now?
No, I think that's it. I have a lot to get started on here and a lot to work on. So I think I'm going to go ahead and log into my ClickFunnels account and get this going.
And Eric had a good idea. Eric Strickland said, too, that maybe use the chatbots because chatbots are about engagement. Use those to help build that relationship. People love to ask questions, not just about, like, how they're selling and all of that, but, like, oh, like you said, are you moving out of the area? Is there, get like on a personal level with them and stuff like that, just to help build that actual engagement you discussed about it. Because it is a long shot. It's a long engagement. It's not like even in 3 months, that's super fast if it happens that fast,
Yeah, a lot of times people are just, really thinking about it, and there's just a lot of curiosity around it. And it's a nurture game in this business for us. But I discovered chatbots about 2 years ago. I've actually trained on the topic here.
Awesome.
One of the guys that was in your comment section, Chris Harden, he's an expert in that field as well. for realtors specifically. And I know the importance of getting that in there. But the way you mentioned it was maybe pull them into your bot through an email sequence, as opposed to that. I've seen Russell and a few of his other people have like a little checkbox. Hey, would you like this delivered through Messenger after, you have your email and phone number entered in? And where do you usually introduce the chatbot in your funnels, or maybe for a funnel like this?
For this one, if we're pulling them out of email, what I would do would be some type of like a survey usually, or some type of if there's a secondary strong lead magnet you have, usually I'll use that. So like we're talking about this, but maybe you have a referral list or something that they want. I don't know, that doesn't take away from this, but is another something pain point. You can always be like, oh, check here, and I'll send my referral list to you in Messenger so you'll have it or something. Like.
Yeah, like it might even lead back to the fact that a lot of times when people are selling their home, they're asking, what can I do to make it sell for more? Like, do I need to paint my house? Do I need to fix plumbing issues? So here's a list of my verified contractors, grab it here so you can get the best service providers and vendors in Las Vegas.
You could even check here to get my top 10 or top 5 things I do to increase value of a house, and the people I recommend in Vegas to do it for you.
Okay.
Because then they're like, oh, what are the top 5 things to increase the value of my house? And you can do it something like the top 5 ways to add value to house for pennies on the dollar.
Top 5 ways.
You know what I mean? Because people are like, oh, pennies on the dollar. I'm going to save money while I can add value to my house. And he's going to give me a list of people that he recommends. And then if they're affiliates or kickbacks or whatever too, there's all.
I wish, but no, we can't do that.
Marketing, dude. We're always trying to find that little angle. Uppercut, So, but yeah, let's see. But yeah, that's. I think that would be a way too, because if you're giving a referral list too, just adds that level of value. Because then, if all the people you refer are stellar, then it's also making your level of authority just gets through the roof, dude.
So like a complimentary lead magnet. To give them a reason. Now after they give me their email and their phone number, and you're asking me to go on a Messenger, I better give them a reason.
Right, exactly. You have to give them like, oh, hey, we're going to do this, but hey, I'm going to shoot you this value checklist in your Messenger. We'll deliver it there. So that way, just it's like all nonchalant. Hey, we'll just send it to you in Messenger. Click right here and we'll still allow you to book your appointment and get your free, You don't want to take away from this, but you just want to have a little blurb. Something that's going to be like, oh, a checklist of top 5 ways to add value for pennies on the dollar. I'll take one of those.
Yeah, and it's complementary to what most sellers are looking to do. Of course, They want to get the most money. They're wondering why their net amount is always different. But then what could they do to increase the value at the same time?
Bam. Double pain point killer. Bam, bam, bam. Exactly, dude. Exactly. So you're right. We got why are the numbers different, and how can I make this number higher? 2 very valuable things that they don't fight each other. They go flow together, and that you can always add that in as a secondary opt-in to get them to go into Messenger, easily. Hey, I'll deliver this into Messenger, and you go ahead and book your appointment, Yeah, I think that's it, man. I think that's huge.
Perfect. Well, thank you.
Awesome,
I love all the videos that you're constantly doing, whether it's my industry or someone else's. It's always huge insight. So I appreciate you continually providing value to the community you've set up here. I appreciate it.
So anyone watching, I think we're going to do a couple of these lead magnet series. So let me know what the next, whoever gets in first, let me know what your niche is and what you want to do. And we'll meet and we'll design out your basic lead magnet funnel for you and find out everything just like this. I think if we do like 5 or 6 of these, it'll help give people a lot of clarity and insight on how to get leads. So comment in the chat, #leads, and we'll and what your niche is, and I'll contact you and we'll set up a time and we'll do these just like I did for Danny, and we'll help get you guys all your leads and take your business to the next level, brother.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Every. Truly appreciate it.
All right, bro. Have a good one, and we'll have to go out to lunch or dinner sometime, man. Let me know when you're free. We'll go hit up the we'll go. I live in Summerlin. We'll go around here and watch some sushi or something.
Downtown Summerlin, man. We'll do it, man. I owe you one. I definitely do. So, all right.
Awesome, brother. Have a good one. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate everyone watching. Peace. Funnel Doc out.